During the busy holiday season, so many parties and activities involve alcohol.
You know, a lot of people are able to enjoy a drink or two responsibly, but it can be a difficult time for people who may be struggling to control their consumption, or it may expose a problem that maybe you weren't willing to confront. Dr. Joseph Lee from Hazelden Betty Ford is with us on Mid-Morning. Dr. Lee, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
I think this is an issue where a lot of people are able to enjoy a couple of drinks during the holidays, no problem. What is a warning sign that, you know what, this is more than somebody who just had a little too much on one holiday party?
Yeah, you know, people get so stuck on how much drinking is okay, what level of substance use is okay, and addiction is really about a very powerful behavioral conditioning based on reward. So initially when people drink on the holidays or at college or at work, it's fun, they can control it. Over time though, we get tolerant and we need more, and then the conditioning works and there are triggers throughout the day, and sooner or later we're conditioned to use more and more. And that creates a double life. And so it's not just drinking too much at one holiday party. There comes a dissonance and a contrast, especially in a holiday season, where there's so much idyllic vestiges and, you know, expectations, and you got to be happy and you got to catch up. And that contrast between an idealized life and the conditioned life, where you're kind of a slave to the bottle or a slave to a certain drug, really strikes people and creates a lot of isolation and desperation.
A lot of college students are home on break right now, and it's a lot of times that parents haven't seen them for a couple of months. Are there any warning signs? Because a lot of them might even be drinking for the first time too.
There are actually a lot of research studies on college students using substances. You don't have to be addicted per se to have problems in college. A lot of kids in high school can get away with using substances, making decent grades, and moving on to college. College is a whole different deal. And when you track college students and beyond in the job market, kids who use various substances do worse. Dropout rates are worse, and job performance is worse. Job opportunities are worse. And there are some telltale signs. So if someone is changing majors, a drop in grades, they come home for the holidays and they're trying to hide soft withdrawal symptoms, sleeping a lot, moods have changed. There are some hallmark features, but you want to catch it before those problems happen.
Mom and dad can intervene?
Mom and dad can have a discussion. It's important for mom and dad to be mom and dad and not be a therapist, right?
Or therapist or a buddy,
Right, and it's important to just have a non-frightening conversation. You know, treatment for problematic substance use doesn't mean you have to go away someplace. It can start with a friendly conversation with somebody you trust, a primary care professional, a mental health professional, just a screening, and then people can decide. And I find most of the time that even young people have a wisdom inside of them. They understand that their using is problematic.
Well, and so that too, it can be hard to recognize if you yourself is having a problem. So how can you, what are some of the signs for you? We're so used to diagnosing other people, but taking a look at yourself.
Again, it has to do with this double life. As the behavioral conditioning takes place, more and more of your life becomes occupied with using and getting that reward. You start to anticipate that reward. It's a lot like that old experiment, Pavlov's dog with the dog and the bell. It's almost exactly like that. And then there comes a dissonance between your life and how you're actually handling yourself. Then you have to hustle and lie and keep up this double life. And that cycle. So before you get the DUI, pay attention to those feelings of desolation and the depression and the self-loathing and the isolation.
And that's when you get the help. Dr. Joseph Lee from Hazelden Betty Ford, thanks for coming in. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Some good advice.